Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Chicago Bears Week 3 game against the Indianapolis Colts on the road in Indy. So stick around if you want to hear my prediction.
Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video.
Before we talk too much about Week 3, we're going to look back a little bit at these two teams' games last week. The Chicago Bears played the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football. The Bears lost the game 19-13 in a story we've all heard before as Bears fans. The defense played great against an elite offense, and the offense just did not show up on the Chicago Bears side of the ball. Like I said, for the Chicago Bears defense, they played great. They held C.J. Stroud to under 300 yards. It was about 260, which is okay. Only one TUD, and they shut down the running game. The leading rusher for the Texans last week was only 30 yards on the ground from Cam Akers. After the monster week from Joe Mixon in Week 1, the Bears were able to shut down the Texans' run game and keep C.J. Stroud in check. The offense on the side of the ball for the Chicago Bears just was not able to get it done. Caleb Williams, 23 of 37 for 174 and 2 picks. Out of those 37 pass attempts, he was pressured 36 times, which is an absolute absurd rate for the offensive line to be crumbling the way it is. Just talking about the offensive line, it's the massive concern right now for the Bears offense, in my opinion. The interior is Swiss cheese with the tackles not really playing much better. You really can't get anything going in the run or the pass right now because the lack of protection and the lack of run game, it really hurts. The Bears' offensive numbers are the 31st ranked offense overall. They're 28th rush attack, which is surprising to me. They're not even lower than that. And they're the 32nd passing team in the NFL right now. Things need to switch up. And hopefully for the Bears, with the opponent across from them this week, that might happen. Talking about the Colts a little bit, last week was definitely a letdown after Week 1's high-flying performance from Richardson and the Colts offense. Week 2 was lackluster at best in the defense. Gigantic question marks on that defensive line. People thought it was going to be the secondary that was the big issue, but right now it's the front seven in Indy. Last week's game was a 16-10 loss for the Colts in Green Bay against the Packers without Jordan Love, Malik Willis. I don't want to beat down on the Colts too bad because my boy Bob's a big fan. But yikes, the running attack from the Green Bay Packers, over 200 yards in the first half allowed on the ground for the Colts. And the only way they were able to stop it was having 5 on the line and 8 in the box. And even then, the Packers were still able to get the job done with a backup quarterback. Anthony Richardson didn't look that great on the other side. He was 17 of 34 for 204 yards, 1 touchdown late, 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor was the one bright spot of the offensive side for the Colts. He had 12 rushes for 103 yards, but did not play a single snap in the fourth quarter. Shane Steichen said they were passing late, so they just weren't drawing up plays for the RB. I'm anticipating that not to be the case and him to be involved all 4 quarters going in the future, considering he was the best offensive player the Colts had that game, and the lack of snaps in the fourth quarter was definitely disheartening as a Colts fan if you were watching that and watch that game slip away. And looking at these two teams for the Week 3 matchup, it's the bottom of the barrel offense versus a bottom of the barrel defense from the Bears and Colts perspectives. The Colts defense, if I haven't touched on the numbers, 31st overall, 32nd rushing, 8th pass defense in the league. That's just because teams do not have to pass the ball against this Indianapolis Colts team. And that's going to make for an interesting matchup. Which one of these sides of the ball is going to finally produce? Is it going to be the Bears offense? Is it going to be the Colts defense? Well, I obviously, Bears homer, just think that since the Bears have a good phase of football in the defense, that it will make things easier for that Chicago Bears offense and give them the edge in this game against the Colts. Some of my keys for that to happen, though, was the first key is run the damn ball with some success. The way this Colts defense is played, and the running attack that they've allowed against them, the Bears have to take advantage. DeAndre Swift has been piss poor because of the line in front of him, but still something's got to give. And the Bears offensive line has to be dominant in the run game, at least get 100 yards as a team. Please, that would be something so far for the year, but this Colts team gives it up. So you got to expect the run game to be there for the Chicago Bears. My second key to victory for this Bears team is keeping Caleb Williams upright. The Colts, looking at what the Texans did last week, are going to bring monster pressure. They have to almost every single snap with the way the Texans brought pressure and it affected the Bears offense and Caleb Williams specifically. The Bears offensive front has to be ready for pressures from exotic angles, if not just regular stunts, because that even beats the Bears offensive line. But we have to give Caleb Williams a secure pocket and time to read the defense and get rid of the ball to our playmakers. And the third key, I touched on him a little bit, talking about the Colts earlier, is Jonathan Taylor. I'm expecting him to be a focal point of the offense with how he looked in Green Bay and the lack of snaps, having some fans in an uproar. I think Shane's going to be more willing to have the game plan focused around Jonathan just because he's a consistent factor and can guarantee you what he's going to bring to the table. We don't know really with Richardson, especially with the Bears defense. I think they're going to want to get the ball going on the ground if they can. So the Bears need to contain that. The Bears need to contain Jonathan Taylor like they did Joe Mixon last week and have a stout run defense. If the Bears can check all three of those keys, I like their chances this week against the Indianapolis Colts. And for my prediction, I'm going to go 20-13 Bears win by 7 on the road. Give me 2 touchdowns for those Bears offense. It's crazy, right? They don't even have any passing yet. They've only got 1 on the year, but give me 2 in one game. Absolutely bold prediction right there. But that's what I got for the Bears week 3 against the Indianapolis Colts. Let me know where you agree, disagree down in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe. Keep checking out all the content. Thank you guys so much. You have a great one. Peace.